Welcome back to History of Simple Things. Today's topic comes from at Arnell P1 7618. Thanks for the suggestion. You asked, how does chlorine clean pool water? You're floating in a pool on a hot afternoon, the water clear, cool, and inviting. It looks clean, but beneath the surface, there's a constant chemical battle happening, breaking down bacteria, sweat, and everything swimmers bring in. And leading that fight is chlorine. So how does it actually keep pool water safe? That's what we're diving into today right here on History of Simple Things. At first glance, pool water seems simple, just water, right? But in reality, it's a constantly changing mixture of substances. Every swimmer introduces tiny contaminants, oils from skin, sunscreen, dirt, and even microscopic organisms. Add to that environmental factors like dust, leaves, and rain, and you get a complex soup that can quickly become unsafe if left untreated. Bacteria and viruses are the biggest concern. These microorganisms thrive in warm, wet environments, making pools an ideal breeding ground. Without proper sanitation, harmful microbes could spread easily from one person to another. This is where chlorine steps in, not just as a cleaner, but as a chemical defender. Chlorine is a chemical element, but in pool care, it's usually added in compound forms like liquid chlorine, tablets, or granules. Once it enters the water, something important happens. It reacts with water molecules to form two key substances, hypochlorous acid and hypochlorite ions. Out of the two, hypochlorous acid is the real star. It's highly effective at killing microorganisms because it can penetrate the cell walls of bacteria and disrupt their internal processes. Think of it less like scrubbing dirt away and more like neutralizing threats at their core. So how does chlorine actually clean the water? It's not like soap that washes things away. Instead, chlorine works through a process called oxidation. When contaminants enter the pool, whether it's bacteria, sweat, or organic debris, chlorine reacts with them chemically. This reaction breaks down complex, potentially harmful substances into simpler, harmless ones. In the case of bacteria, chlorine destroys their enzymes and structural components, effectively killing them. This process happens continuously. As long as there's enough chlorine in the water, it keeps attacking and neutralizing new contaminants as they appear. It's a bit like having an invisible security system that never turns off. Here's something surprising. That strong chlorine smell people associate with clean pools isn't actually a sign of cleanliness. In fact, it often means the opposite. When chlorine reacts with nitrogen-based contaminants like sweat or urine, it forms compounds called chloramines. These are what produce that sharp, irritating smell. Chloramines are also responsible for eye redness and skin irritation after swimming. A well-maintained pool with proper chlorine levels actually has very little odor. So if a pool smells strongly of chlorine, it usually means the chlorine is already busy reacting with contaminants and may need to be replenished. To understand pool chemistry a bit deeper, it helps to know the difference between free chlorine and combined chlorine. Free chlorine is the active form that's still available to disinfect the water. It's the chlorine that hasn't yet reacted with contaminants and is ready to do its job. Combined chlorine, on the other hand, is chlorine that has already reacted, forming chloramines. Pool maintenance aims to keep free chlorine levels high enough to sanitize effectively while minimizing combined chlorine. This balance ensures the water stays both clean and comfortable for swimmers. chlorine doesn't work alone. It depends heavily on the pool's pH level. pH measures how acidic or basic the water is, and it directly affects how effective chlorine can be. In slightly acidic water, chlorine exists more in the form of hypochlorous acid, the powerful disinfectant. But as the water becomes more basic, more chlorine turns into hypochlorite ions, which are far less effective. That's why pool operators carefully monitor pH levels, usually keeping them between 7.2 and 7.8. Within this range, chlorine can do its job efficiently without causing discomfort to swimmers. If you've ever noticed that outdoor pools need more chlorine than indoor ones, sunlight is the reason why. Ultraviolet (UV) rays from the sun break down chlorine molecules, reducing the amount available to sanitize the water. To solve this, many pools use a stabilizer called cyanuric acid. This compound helps protect chlorine from being destroyed too quickly by sunlight, allowing it to last longer and work more effectively. However, too much stabilizer can also reduce chlorine's effectiveness, so it's all about maintaining the right balance. With all this chemical activity happening, it's natural to wonder whether chlorine itself is safe. The answer depends on concentration and proper management. In controlled amounts, chlorine is safe for swimming and highly effective at preventing waterborne illnesses. Problems only arise when levels are too high or when chloramines accumulate, leading to irritation. That's why regular testing and maintenance are essential. Pool operators and even homeowners use testing kits to ensure chlorine levels stay within a safe range. The next time you step into a pool, it might look simple on the surface, but there's an entire chemical process working quietly to keep that water safe. Chlorine isn't just cleaning in the way we usually imagine. It's actively destroying harmful microorganisms, breaking down contaminants, and maintaining a delicate balance that protects every swimmer. From its transformation into hypochlorous acid to its ongoing battle against bacteria and organic matter, chlorine plays a role that's both powerful and precise. And while it may be invisible, its impact is something you experience every time you take a safe, refreshing swim. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.